Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be checking out Regal Robot's latest addition to their archive collection, and it's none other than Walrus Man, or Ponda Baba, depending on how old you are. This is going to be an extremely limited edition because they're only making 150. And this piece is huge, and you could actually display it in two different ways. You can display it as a bust, like I'm doing here, or you could actually display it as just the mask by itself, just to give it more of a kind of archival mask look. And even though he only gets a few seconds of screen time, this is definitely a fan favorite.
He doesn't like you.
Sorry.
I don't like you either. You just watch yourself. We're wanted men. I have the death sentence on 12 systems.
I'll be careful.
You'll be dead.
This little one's not worth the effort. Come, let me get you something.
The voice for Walrus Man was created by Oscar-winning legend Ben Burtt, who went to Marineland and actually recorded a real walrus, which was the same walrus that he used for some of Chewbacca's voice. And this is going to be a signature edition, which will include Ben Burtt's autograph, which that alone makes this such an iconic piece, because this is the first time that Ben Burtt has signed any officially licensed prop replica. And the piece itself is so great, and it's huge. And Regal Robot did such an amazing job at replicating all of the details, including the color. And they even replicated the translucent tusks that the original mask has, which is such a crazy cool detail. And they're only making 150 of these, so I anticipate that they will sell out really fast. These are going to be $24.99, and there's going to be a 1-year payment plan available. So you could spread those payments across 12 months. And the bust was digitally scanned from the original mask that's in the Lucasfilm archives. So the lineage is impeccable. And like I said, you could actually display this in two different ways. You can do it as a bust, or you can actually do it as kind of just a head, like a mask. And this is an officially licensed prop replica, so it comes with a certificate of authenticity. And the details on this bust are just crazy, because Regal Robot actually hand glued all of the hair that's on the bust at their Regal Robot studios in New York. And the translucent tusks just speaks for itself. I mean, the details are crazy. You could actually see through it and see kind of the red noodles that's, inside of the bust. The color and the weathering is just amazing. You could see a lot of grays and browns, and there's just so many washes on this. And it really looks like it just came right out of the movie. Now, like I said, this piece is huge, but it's actually pretty light. The head is actually hollow, so it doesn't weigh too much. I think the part that weighs more is actually the chest piece, the orange chest piece. And I really like the fact that you could actually display it without that chest piece, especially if you don't have a lot of room for this, because it is a very large piece. Now here you could see the tusks up close, and you could see that they replicated the translucent tusk, bubbles, so you could really appreciate all of the little red and yellow noodles that are inside. The eyes are painted glossy black, so it really looks like it's alive. And even the chest piece looks amazing. It actually looks like real clothes. And it's just so cool that Regal Robot captured all of the detail that's on the original mask. Now I want to show you how big this thing really is. So here it is next to the Sideshow Collectibles Greedo bust. And that Greedo bust is a sizable piece, so you could see how big it actually is in comparison. And I think it just looks so cool with the Greedo next to it, just because it's, from the same cantina scene. And I'm really hoping Regal Robot continues to do these as a full line, so we get a lot of these cantina creatures. I know Tom Spina is a huge fan of the cantina scene, and he's actually worked on several commercials and other projects for Lucasfilm, so I'm sure there's going to be some more coming down the way. But I just love the way this looks. Imagine having a bunch of these creatures all lined up just to recreate the cantina scene. It would be so cool. Although you would need a pretty big collection space to house all of these. Now this is going to be available for pre-order on February 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on regalrobot.com. And like I said, there's only going to be 150 of these, and they're going to retail for $24.99. And Regal Robot will offer a 1-year payment plan, so you could spread those payments out for 12 months. And you definitely don't want to miss out on this amazing piece. I mean, just look at how detailed this is. And it's really cool to see how much it actually looks like a real walrus. Now, I wanted to also give you a very close-up look at the translucent tusks. And I wanted to shine some light into it so you could really appreciate kind of the internal parts of it. And I'm always amazed on the level of detail that Regal Robot puts into all of their pieces, and this one is no exception. And although it looks really cool next to the Greedo bust, I also wanted to show you a comparison next to another Regal Robot bust, which is the CZ3 bust. And you could really appreciate the size difference next to this one because, I mean, it towers over this CZ3. And it's also kind of from the same scene, right? They're both from Mos Eisley, so it makes sense to put them next to each other as well. And of course, let's look at it next to myself. That way you could actually appreciate the size of this thing. Because like I said, pictures and videos just don't do it justice until you actually put it next to an actual human. And just for the fun of it, I also wanted to show you the bust with the original Kenner figure, so you could actually see how small the figure is compared to this huge bust. So here it is with the original figure, and this is such a cool toy, right? I mean, all of us that grew up with these original Kenner figures always had a special place in our hearts for Walrus Man. So like I said, these will be available on Tuesday, February 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Regal Robot's website. They're going to be $24.99, but there is going to be a 1-year payment plan. So definitely don't miss out on this amazing piece of Star Wars history. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, let me know how I can make these better, and keep an eye out for the next video. Thanks, guys.